Lick number 97, I'm going to do a variation of the previous lick. So lick number 97 will be this. It's again a chord vamp on a 1-4-5 progression, chord progression in the key of A. And this one's going to just incorporate a little bit of alternation. So we're going to do this. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's the progression. The previous one just did solid eighth notes like that. This one we're doing an alternation. And I'm going to show you how to do that. Very common technique to use. So we're going to put the first finger on the 4th string 2nd fret to prepare. And we're going to be alternating that finger and if that's 4th string, 2nd fret, and then we're going to be alternating the 3rd finger onto the 4th fret of the 4th string. So we're going to be doing this. We're going to play the power chord with the open A string, open 5th string, together with that 1st finger on the 4th string, 2nd fret. We're going to do 2 of those. Then we're going to put down the 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string and do 2 of those. Again, both times with the pair of strings being played together, the open A string, open 5th string, with the fretted note on the 4th string. So we're going to do 2 of each. So we're going to go. That's the general alternation. So that'll be counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's one whole measure. So after 4 measures, so we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4. Here's the 3rd measure, 2 and 3 and the 4th measure. Then we're going to go to the up to the 3rd string with the 1st finger, 2nd fret, and we're going to use the same pattern, alternating the 1st finger and the 3rd finger, but now the 1st finger and 3rd finger are on the 3rd string. 2nd and 4th frets, and we're going to play the open 4th string with this. So now we're going to do 2 measures of the D chord. The first chord was the A chord, now we're doing the D chord for the 4 chord. And we're going for 2 measures, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we're going back to the first chord, to the A chord, the 1 chord, for 2 measures, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we're just going to go down to the 5th string with the 1st finger, 2nd fret, and we're going to alternate onto the 4th fret with the 3rd finger. So it's the same pattern we're using, we're just doing it on different strings. And we're going to play this with the 6th string open paired with the 5th string with the alternating fingers. This will be for 2 measures. So we're on the E. This is an E power chord with an alternation. You're actually alternating on all these the root and 5th, and we're alternating up to the 6th, the root and 6th degree. The open string being the roots, and when you're on the 1st finger, you're on the 5th of the chord. When you're using your 3rd finger on these, you're on the 6th of the chord. So we're alternating the 5th and 6th notes in relation to the root. So the 5 chord, the E chord for 2 measures will be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then we go back to the 1 chord, to our A chord, the 5th string open with the 4th string 1st and 4th frets for 2 measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So altogether this progression sounds like this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And we're playing both these notes as we play them. We're playing them as much together at the same time as we can. Now, as I showed in the previous lick, I'm using the heel of my hand here to just touch the strings lightly over the saddle area and just going onto the strings just slightly. And you can we're going to be muting doing that, and you're controlling the sound of the mute or the amount of the mute by how far into the strings you are this way, and you're really going to be just slightly over the strings, just slightly on over the. If I'm looking at the saddle here, here's the saddle where the strings are crossing. We're just onto the strings, just slightly over here, and by going this way, you can control how much mute effect you're getting, and also by pushing into the strings, into the guitar a little bit, you also control it that way. So just slightly over the strings and pushing in just a little bit. And again, we can vary the mute, as I mentioned in the previous lick, where a light mute would be something like this, to a heavier mute. I'm just pushing in harder now. I could have also done that by moving this way a little bit. So I'm going to play the progression a little bit faster now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this will have a lot of uses in basic rock and roll, and a lot of uses for our A minor pentatonic with this. So again, the tab is available on my website, bobporri.com, and that's it for lick number 97.